think I might call this quits in a sec. Because I'm getting very tired. And as such, I'm getting more panicky about, like, oh god, did I say something wrong? Did I, what did I say just a moment ago? Yeah, I'm just more worried about things. Product. I will get an axe, the same. Excuse me. Tailor tool. But Tailor tool has been removed from all that, so I don't see the benefit in having this item anymore. It wouldn't even be good in a fight. I haven't found a candle yet, so that's can't be used. That. Oh shit, I did not mean to buy that. Keep expecting it not to jump around. Okay. Take a quick drink. Nacelle helmet. An iron skull cap with a short bar to protect the nose. Twice the physical resist and 2 electrical. Wouldn't mind making it. And then with all the stuff you can put to it, you can make it really durable. If you use the right stuff. Order a product. Cool. Actually, wait, I can't make iron yet myself, can I? No, that's level 11. Could make copper. Actually. could try and grind XP by making copper or go and getting wheat. Actually, those are stuff I didn't get. There's no harvesting tool here or other thing. But, so yeah, I could just buy more iron and do it that way. She's out of iron now. Fuck. Rebel Camp, Mountain Cave, Mountain Maze, Webbed Forest, Storm Domain, Mutant's Lair. Storm Domain. And they're all built around where my goddamn house is. He's gone. Oh, wait, what? No. Beautiful. That's some directions. You have nothing? You have nothing. They're brewers, and they're set up in the... Oh, okay, no, this is a brewery. So the other side is their, thing I want. God damn, I wish these places had more direct paths. So it's not really an issue with the auto padding here, but still. It just takes time. Hand axe, white axe. Same hit and parry chances, but slightly better damage. Same range and attack speed. But better damage. By 2 on each count. Okay, he also does not have any iron to sell. Go back and get the last few resources. Yeah, we'll head back and get the tools. And we'll head up somewhere else. We're attempting just going back to the elf place and just using what's there. These dwarf holes are a bit of a hodgepodge. So many people stuck in walls or whatnot. Okay, I thought that was a red chalice on the ground. How much? 180. Let's go back and get some stuff made from the taper. Random green dot on the map. Some wood I left behind. Okay, that was hardly the quickest way out. Okay, magnificent. That's new. Training, sword fighting. Metal bender. Order product. Can only make it a single dagger. Still a source of shit, really. Um... We'll just sell that to unload it and make some of the money back. Can't really hope for much. Sell that as well. Woodbender. Order product. Wooden armor. Wooden armor made by laminating layers of wood together to create a hard, durable material that protects the wearer against attacks. Does boost our vulnerability to fire, as one would expect, but does provide 2 physical, 4 death, and 5 nature resist. We could also use... Elven wood, which will give us further nature resist, additional 2, and 4 int. Could also slap on Snake Cutter to get even more nature resist. We will not be doing that. Could slap on Goat Ladder for it. So yeah, we could do that to boost our int. Because we would like some chunk of intelligence. I think that would be good, honestly. And like we're having trouble finding enough iron, but there is hopefully enough elven wood here. Plain ladder, but scraps. Don't have ant for those yet. Four int across the board, so that's an additional 12 intelligence. Very nice. So while that's going, we'll head upstairs, find a tailor. Order product. Ooh! Not something I expected a tailor to be able to make. A lamel... Amelar? I'm not sure how it's said. This body armor is made of small, rectangular pieces of hardened leather reinforced in critical spots with metal. So 4 physical, 2 frost, 4 electrical, 2 acid resist. And it's leather with 1 bit of metal. Put on 2 bits of goat leather and then a bit of iron for bonus physical resist. But I already have this being made, so we'll stick with this for the time being. And hope we don't encounter anything that does fire damage. Okay, well, you're a leather worker. Maybe tailor's over this way. Woodworker. Woodworker. Here we go. Wood. Oh, actually, I wish I could cancel that. Yeah. 2 strength, baby. Bit of a waste of a bag, but we'll deconstruct it or something. Get some benefit from it. %, covered in poison. I'm just a walking biohazard. God damn. Yeah, no way that can be sold at a profit. Some stuff's already done. Actually, is there anything else here of interest? Bow, a regular bow, often used by humans. It's kind of tempting to get a bow and to use a ranged weapon, rather than always trying to stab someone in the head with an axe. Order a product. A bit overboard, yes, I don't disagree, but easy way to try and start boosting up my probably start boosting up my tailoring. 1, 2. Actually, what did you lose on? Nothing really of interest. Guardians. Winery. Sit down. Go check. And will of actual interest. They're done. Surreal. Ooh, 33 crafting. Damn. Goods. Ugh. We're next to nothing. The repeat does not work here because it's not a stack thing. Seems to be enough. Okay, now I've one tailoring. I can make that myself. upstairs. Oh, damn. The arm guards are taking the same spot as the gloves. Damn it. I forgot about that. I'll miss out on 2 strength, but I'm willing to take that loss in exchange for 4 int and a dex. That's not... That feels better, honestly. Back here at some point and I'll get a rest of bandanas. I think they made it so you can't harvest elven wood from their tree, like just by attacking it kind of thing, or chopping it. I suppose I could put the other bag in here, but oh well, I didn't, so we'll just move on. Yeah, move on if we keep regretting the past. Troublesome. Set for food for the time being. Okay, I need to get down to Mournburg town so I can get a scythe made and a flail tool. I need to go make some more money first. Then again, I could make money when I get there. Maybe I should... Yeah, you know what? I'll head up here first. 7 dates. Great, gross. Scouting an archer. And you bastard. Up and die. Thank you for getting into my way. Much appreciated. Covered in 21% poison. So would that actually work as a poison weapon now, or what? Humanoid. Humanoid, humanoid. God, I hate archers. Skin the tiger. Skin the rabbit. Okay. There's still some goddamn enemies here. I don't mind if it's snakes. I don't mind if it's gorillas. Both are manageable. Somehow resting onto a healed does not restore your overall stamina. Oh fuck, there's... It got a lot of shots off on me. I was a little reckless there. That wood in the savannah, I'm very tempted in replacing my wooden armor here with that. Because the extra int is appreciated, but it's not too useful for me. What would be more useful is more endurance, because each point of endurance is 5 extra hit points. So here is 12 int. Elven wood gives 2 apiece, and these are made of 2 bits of wood apiece. So, and the other wood has the same effect just for endurance. So I would get 60 additional hit points. My god. I'm currently on what? 115. 175. Let's have a difference. I very nearly died here again. You talking. Trade goods. No, nothing. Wait. Sell it for 199. Fish meat. Here's cooked meat. So they sell it for 180, buy it for 262. Make a bit of a profit here. So nice of them to let this random fire run for who knows how many months or weeks I've been gone. Very kind of them. Boom. Magnificent, isn't it? Reduces fatigue gain when resting. Ah, that's another thing that I was struggling with. So the amount of fatigue, amount this game increases each time you rest. So it wasn't just getting more done per thing. I was also delaying fatigue gain on the other character. Okay. It just, remember I was in the previous episode at this point probably. I was talking about how I felt like I was getting less done per sleep. It's because my willpower and endurance are down. Maybe more my endurance than willpower, but still. When they were higher, I was getting, each rest gave me more stamina, but it also cost me less fatigue. I generated less fatigue that way. So it's a two-front thing. God damn. Okay, 20. Still losing out on a little bit of cash. Oh well, nothing I can really do about it. I know, this is probably not the most entertaining of footage. But again, this is what the game can be like when you're trying to actually generate some degree of goddamn cash. But it can also, is mildly humorous. Imagine it. You know, a goddamn fucking elf. Is my hair wrong? Too much ear is showing. It's meant to be just a point. I have the wrong hairstyle. God damn it. Also have the wrong lips. They removed the lips. But, imagine, 25-year-old elf leaves home and camps out in a tropical forest full of lion people to cook meat for them because he found a hole in their economy. Grabs an axe, hacks down a few trees. Seeing that forbidden thing is just like, fine. Okay, magnificent. Okay. Okay, there we go. Thought I'd actually cook more of the batch I had than I had, but no. dun, 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 dun. You get a rhythm for it. Standard regeneration 0. I interrupted my rest. Oops. Gotcha. Okay, we get the same amount back. But yeah, imagining it that way, it becomes a lot funnier. You know, an elf wanders into town, sees a hole in your economy, and starts buying out all the uncooked meat and starts selling it back to you at, like, not quite twice the price, but good enough. Like, your insistent efforts to screw him on every single exchange, he found a fucking hole. My God, is he filling it? Magnificent. Mag-fucking-nificent. Rest, you bastard. I'm just seeing how much I've recorded so far. Some 3 hours, 49 minutes, 57 seconds. That's of the previous sets, not this one. And I have to make up for all the progress I lost on the other guy. With how much, like, training or potential can cost in the full game, well, in the early access game here, you really need to find some, like, loop like this. It's not fun gameplay, but you kind of need it, honestly. There's no real way, from what I've seen, of making money outside of something like this. Yeah, you can make a fair bit of cash selling the snake leather off, but there's no massed amount of snakes for you to fight. Go into a snake pit and yeah, you'll find like 8. Yeah, big whoop. You know, that's a bit of cash. But if you want to make a lot of money, you gotta do this. You gotta find a loop like this where you can just camp down and do it again and again and again and again and again. It's boring shit. But it's how you'll get paid. Like, You can go out fighting and, you know, brawling, but it really doesn't seem that profitable, honestly. At the end of the day, it doesn't seem like it'll bring in much money for you. You have to find a nice little niche in the economy and just insistently try and exploit it as much as you can. And it leads to you just sitting here for half a fucking hour, just doing this again and again. It's not fun, but there's no real other way around it. It was a lot easier. You're doing very much the same thing in the demo with the copper that I was mentioning before. You're doing very much the same thing, but I wanted to say you weren't sitting there for quite as long. The money you were working with was a lot larger. Cause like here I'm making $1.20 a piece. Like that's the the great exploit I have. I'm making $1.20 a piece, maybe. On each thing I sell back, on each one I sell back, I make maybe $1.20. It's not great. But it's... It's workable, It's workable. The copper way was much faster. Because, you'd buy this stuff for 9, 10 a piece and you'd sell it back for 30. You were getting like a tenner per thing. But... Also, God, I will not know myself without this multi-cook. Like, seriously, mwah, mwah. Thank you, developer, for getting it out now rather than in who knows how long time. Massive tree that must have been here for a very long time. Thank you for getting it out now rather than in nebulous future. One thing would be nice is if, say if you set up shop, caravans could come to your settlement. Say if you, you have a settlement over there. You know how you can get stuff sent to your settlement rather than having to carry it yourself? Imagine if you could say... have, trade caravans come to you, send out shipments. Like, you make stuff in your settlement and send it out. I like the idea of it. Also, I wish you could redesign your character. I want to change my hairstyles, damn it. I hit the wrong one. I was meant to have a braid. I was too brief in setting this up. Because I was reeling from my loss. Begrudge me my suffering. No. Doom, 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 doom. But yeah, I'm again thinking of switching out my elven gear for the other stuff. There could be an advantage in holding onto this gear in my inventory, though. I'm out doing something, like say I'm doing this, I switch to the new wooden gear. But I'm selling it, or I'm buying in new stuff, I switch to this gear. Because this gear does give me a 6% decrease to prices. So, that's nice. So we end up smart enough to haggle down their prices, but not smart enough to haggle up ours. It's a very limited form of intelligence. I'm sorry, I'm a bit sore about the economy system of this game, simply because it ends up feeling like you're playing Star Sector, but you don't get to black market a thing. You have to pay the 30% tariff on everything. And that's not how you play Star Sector. You do not pay legitimately. They want to screw you, you screw them harder. You make it sure that they don't get to walk straight again for the rest of their fucking life. It's kind of the, they send one of yours to the hospital, you send one of theirs to the morgue approach to economics. I only made 2 on that transaction, but that's fine. Because I got like an extra 100 and something. I got an extra... I paid for like the same amount of meat and then additional 20 or 30 or 20 odd. You know, it's a fine transaction. Wonder what the rings are like. Presumably they provide... They're probably the same as everyone else, honestly. I was kind of expecting rings to have a special enchantments, but I don't think they will. I've seen like topazes and stuff. Rings probably just have the same kind of thing. Though, what even makes rings? Adventuring? No. Shield, 30 power. Elaborate bracers adorned with intricate elven motifs, crafted with great care and attention to detail. Diadem. Symbol of wealth and power. 1 physical, 2 fire, 2 electrical, 1 acid, 1 holy. Plate greaves. Ornament shield. 3 physical, 3 death, 2 holy, 30 power. Bone greaves. Scale helm. Scale shield. Sturdy shield made of overlapping metal scales provides excellent protection against slashing attacks while still be light enough to wield in battle. It does not provide any parry bonus. Manacles. There's 2 bands joined together by a chain for various uses. 2 physical, 5 death, 5 holy, 10% parry. So, helm, scale boots. Knight shield, 40% parry. Yeah, that's good. Scale bracers, scale armor. Great helm, ancient shield. Uniquely shaped shield wielded in battle by ancient armies of united Tarifa. Gonna be honest, from a certain angle, that's kind of looking like the Pursuer shield. P-R-U-S-U. Pursuer DS2. Yeah, it's kind of looking like the Pursuer shield. Different... No. The Pursuer shield... that will be the top, that will be the end. It's more curved, and there's these nodes there. Not on this. There is a circular thing in the center, though. Though it's not a dent out, it's more of a thing. But it's just the dents in made me think of it. And there are a few references here to other things, like there's a One Piece reference, so it's just like, mind jump to reference. Also, I will put it out here. May destroy my most popular series, but I liked Dark Souls 2. I liked Dark Souls 2. It was fun. It was fine. I didn't get people's hatred of it. Yeah, they could have done better about the, the windmill level to the Iron Keep bit, the exact progression of it. They could have had the Iron Keep's mountain right behind it, They could have done that better, yeah. But the rest of it was fine. I didn't feel any issue with it. It felt like Dark Souls 1. And some of the critiques I've seen levied towards Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3 did the exact same thing, but no one complained about it. It was fine. It got a pass. Dark Souls 2 didn't. One of the critiques I saw was Dark Souls 1. In Dark Souls 1, you had to earn teleportation. Dark Souls 2 gives it to you from the get-go. That's a bad thing and a mark against it. Dark Souls 3, you can't leave the starter area without teleporting. Dark Souls 2, you could, in theory, if you wanted, not teleport till late game when you feel you earned it. You could do that if you want. You don't have to use it. But Dark Souls 3, you have to teleport from Firelink Shrine to the first area outside Firelink Shrine. And if you want to go back to Firelink Shrine, you have to teleport back. You have teleportation from the get-go, and it's forced. You have to use it. People are claiming that, like, in Dark Souls 2, like, the progression, like, it was very random, like, you would, things didn't flow as well as Dark Souls 1. Dark Souls 1 was this precious gem. None of the other games have quite the same feel of it. In some ways, I felt Dark Souls 3 was worse than 2. Like, I found 2 was fine. 2 was a fine progression, stuff around the place, But Dark Souls 3 was worse. Because you go from Poison English Forest to the sandy catacombs of a desert kingdom to a tundra. They're all in line of sight of each other, by the by. You can see the Poison Forest from the tundra. Poison English Forest from the tundra. And you would see the tundra from the Poison English Forest, but, there's too many trees or a cliff in the way. So yeah, that bugged me more than anything in Dark Souls 2. Dark Souls 2 at least gives a sense of distance between most things, that, if there is a train change, it's a train change. Like, yeah, you're in the middle of a forest in Dark Souls 2 when you go to the Ivory King's place, but you hit a teleport first. I suppose one thing you could levy against Dark Souls 2, it was kind of hard to have a mental map of the place, especially with the DLC areas, because, like, the DLC areas are all meant to be in Dren Lake, as far as I can gather. They're all meant to be somewhere. Or, actually, no, are they even meant to... The Iron King's place is meant to be in Dren Lake somewhere. But it was kind of hard to put it on... to exactly pin it on the map, The Iron King's, the Broom Tower, is meant to be somewhere in Dren Lake, but it's hard to put a pin on where. And as far as I gather, maybe? I'd want to say all these places are meant to be in Dren Lake. All the 3 DLCs are meant to be in Dren Lake somewhere, but it's kind of hard to put a pin on where. And mentally, I kind of just, they're distant continents. You're just teleporting over to them. But with only the Iron King's place and the Sunken King's place being in Dren Lake. The Sunken King's place is, deep terrain. Maybe, given the overlap in background, maybe it's the, I should keep going with this. Remember the valley with the Toe Demon? Yeah, the Sunken King's place is beneath there. That's because the cultist guys that stem from the Sunken King's terrain. The guys that came in to kill a dragon and doomed the whole kingdom fled and became religious zealots, burying the place. They're there. So it's just like, maybe there's a connection there. And, yeah. It's a wet place. Maybe the Sunken Valley's been eaten. Maybe the other place has been eaten. I know the teleport is after the rotten, but they stick... Well, actually... I don't know, that's just where I mentally decided to put it. Then again, yeah, that's the rotten. Oh. Oh. But yeah, there's kind of a link between the other guys and the Sunken King's place, so I just kind of put it... linked the two places, like, geographically, like. They're chilling above top, trying to keep people out, and keep people away from the general area, while Sun King's deep below. Oh, I just didn't start you again. Yeah, I got caught up in what I was saying. Ivory King, who knows where the fuck he is. But, maybe the game says, maybe it doesn't. It's probably far to the north. Maybe on a different landmass. But yeah, people levied, like, the teleport... You have teleport from the get-go of Dark Souls 2. Never saw anyone bitching about Dark Souls 3 for that. Then again, I haven't seen that complaint too much, in general, to be honest. Might be just the once. I have seen the complaint maybe a few times about Dark Souls 3 having... well, Dark Souls 2 having the levels being disjointed and whatnot, but never felt that bad to me. Dark Souls 3 bit for going from Poison English Forest from the first game to Desert Kingdom Catacombs to... a tundra just seemed really weird to me, because the tundra wasn't there in the first game. I guess something changed in the meantime, but never found out what. The Boreal Valley, which came first? All the ice people, or being a tundra? It also bugged me that the Gwendolen's place had shrunk, but that was probably symbolic of the might of the gods passing. You know, it's no longer as grand. It's this cramped, decrepit hole now, symbolic of how the gods' power is gone. Fuck, one of the gods' children was a maddened dog of the pontiff. The time of the gods is long past, and so has their grandeur. It's symbolic of that, but why is the building shrinking? Trade goods. You have no raw meat for me to buy. Financial state's doing a lot better. Thank you very much. Ah, magnificent. Okay. Back over here. So, yeah, I like Dark Souls 2. That was a fun game to me. I like Dark Souls 3 too. It just, none of them have the same feel of Dark Souls 1. Dark Souls 1 was a masterpiece. Dark Souls 1 was a masterpiece. Dark Souls 2 and 3, which would I rate better? No idea. They're both fine games. I like both of them. Well, I'm defending Dark Souls 2 here. I don't think it's a perfect game. I think I like the game. It's a fun game. But it's just some of the critiques I've seen of it are also held true in Dark Souls 3. And it just bugs me that it gets a pass. People slap it on its ass while calling the other game a dreadful, worthless game. It's, as far as I can tell, they're not memeing either. Maybe they are. It can be hard to tell sometimes because they seem so sincere sometimes, you know? But, yeah, Dark Souls 3 anyway. I like both of the games. I can't say one's better than the other. Actually, there's one thing Dark Souls 2 does much better than Dark Souls 3, and Dark Souls 3 sucks for. It was a kid. In Dark Souls 1, it could be a bit esoteric to try and do people's storylines. Like, to continue Siegfried's storyline, but, you know, finding his daughter. She was in that crystal golem in the other place. You could, in theory, miss it. A bit hard to if you're being thorough, but you could. Or you might release her after finishing his storyline. And a possibility, depending on the order you went in. And him bouncing around to different areas. And you having to meet him to continue his quest. It would be certainly possible to miss him. As far as I know, he bounced around. It certainly felt like he did, but maybe I'm wrong. Or maybe some of those meetings were optional. You didn't actually have to hit him up. Either way. And with Soulash, trying to save him from those other things was a bit awkward. It's one step into that area and he was damned. I don't agree with him being the sandworm. As far as I'm concerned, Soulash survives, defeats Gwyn, and then links the fire in his world. That's the canon end to Soulash as far as I'm concerned. Shine on, you shine on, you mad diamond. An incandescent bastard. Yeah, shine on, you incandescent bastard. But in Dark Souls 3, it's really hard to actually do people's storylines. Because, you find Siegfried, or Sigmar in Dark Souls 3, whatever he's called, Siggy. You find Siggy in Dark Souls 3, you meet him on that watchtower, and you complete the little puzzle he's stuck with, and then you go to fight the demon, and he jumps down and aids you. Next time you meet him is not till a lot later in the game. You clear the cathedral, then you have to come back to the cathedral and go to that one well. You have no reason to believe he's in the well. You have no way of knowing he's in the well. You have nothing hinting at you that he's there, and that you need to revisit an area. Similarly, when I went through the catacombs, the girl and her knight were not there. Or the dude and the knight weren't there. They weren't there at all. I had to revisit the catacombs to find them. And it was so easy to miss their entire quest line. I found her there and then never again. The Dark Moon Knight, I never found her after her aiding me against the Watchers. Never found her again. I think I actually ruined her questline because I murked a guy that would have led me to talk to a dude that was part of another covenant that I think she wanted to fight. Oh, actually, no, I murked that guy would respawn by killing the boss up top, the hollow in the tree. That ruined the other guy's fight. And ruined her thing. You know, it's... Following people's storylines necessitates a guide in Dark Souls 3. Dark Souls 1 and 2, you could probably figure it out yourself. But it would be next to impossible to figure it out yourself without ample amounts of outside assistance in Dark Souls 3. It's much more aggressive on mystery and vagaries. And I know, it bugged me because it's just, I wanted to do it blind, but it's just like, it's bugging me here that I'm missing so many character stories. I have to follow a guide for Sigmar because I had no idea where the fuck he was. Oh, he's in a well at the cathedral. I just ran past that well 20 times, but it wasn't until I was done with the cathedral did he fall in. Oh, and you know the guy. There's a guy in the DLC. I never saw him at all. I ran right past him. Never saw him. I think it's an amnesic patches. Apparently, that's what people are saying, and they're probably right. Never saw him in the slightest. Never met him. There's a guy in Elden Ring. So many characters in Elden Ring that I apparently haven't met. There's a guy at the Crown Pouch you can do stuff with. Elden Ring very much takes after Dark Souls 3 in characters rather than 1 or 2. 1 or 2, they were very upfront with character storylines. Or at least, it felt so much harder to miss them. Maybe I just knew the stuff much better. I was much less blind to it because I'd seen stuff before. But it had been so long since I'd seen anything. It just felt... okay, I can go sell this now. And anyway, basically, long story short, Dark Souls 1 and 2, it was so much easier to find NPCs and to... Magnificent. Dark Souls 1 and 2 was so much easier to find NPCs and trade stuff. Trade stuff. I prefer to write my points and then... You know, if I'm doing something, I may start saying what I'm doing. You know, it'll just throw me off completely. Okay, we'll do this as the last wave of it. Because I'm actually starting to feel sick. I've been up too long. And today's been an off day. It's been a mess. So, same with yesterday, actually. That's why I missed an episode. There's going to be a delay with the 6th episode going up. You missed a day. I apologize for that. You'll probably get an extra long episode, but that's because I spent so much time cooking. It's not going to be much of a bonus. It's going to be a punishment, damn you. But, yeah, with Dark Souls... yeah, okay, since I'm trying to play here and whatnot... Okay, I ramble to begin with, I'm kind of absent-minded. 2, when I'm trying to do something else, like try and focus, okay, I have to do this in the game, I have to do that in the game. I lose track of what I'm saying as well. I prefer to make sure my points are eloquent and well done. I prefer to write it out first, but I'm just talking off the cuff here, you know, fuck you. I jest. But yeah, some that Dark Souls 1 and 2 did better than Dark Souls 3 was character quests. It was so much easier to find people and run into them. But I suppose in Dark Souls 2, they did something unique that wasn't done in 1 or 3, which, if you hadn't read it on the wiki, would be a pain in your ass. If you want to get the good endings for the characters, you have to summon them into fights. Or if you want to end their storyline, with Wukatil, with the other guy, with his foe Moonlight. If you wanted to end their storyline, you had to summon them into fights. But there's nothing telling you that you had to do it. In Dark Souls 1 and 3, all that was optional. You could continue people's storylines. As far as I know, it's in 3, it's optional. In 1, it is. You could continue people's storylines without bringing them into fights. Dark Souls 2 forces it if you want to see their storylines. Like, if you want to get Wukatil set, if you want to get the other guys set without killing them, you have to bring them into fights. There's no river here, and there's no water here. Leave region, we'll come back. I don't like leaving my shit here, but we'll be fine. We've done it before. But yeah, if you wanted to finish Wukatil's quest, if you want to finish the other guy's quest, who I do not remember, you have to bring them into fights. It was only true for them, but... It was only true for them, but still. It was a different thing, and if you didn't know about it, it would be a pain in the ass too. I'd probably, if I didn't know about it, I would probably be complaining about it the same way I did with Dark Souls 3, about how hard it was to find people. Though I feel Dark Souls 3 was a bit worse about that. Just like, never mind actually completing their quests, you didn't even know how to even find them. Then the other guy being locked in the prison cell. Even though I knew that's where he was, it was a pain in the ass trying to actually find what cell he was even in. It was like down a burrow, up a lift, twists and turns. It was an hour and a half trying to find him. You did get a hint at where he was if you went to defeat the giant, but still. So, yeah, basically, I like Dark Souls 2. It's a fun game. Dark Souls 3 is a fun game as well. But if, at least on some of the critiques I've seen levied against Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3 gets a pass. The disjointed level design. Dark Souls 2 was fine to me. I suppose the DLC areas are a little questionable, but Dark Souls 2 was fine to me. They should have done better about showing the mountain behind the windmill for the Iron Keep. They should have done better about that, but to be honest, I was too busy focusing on the enemies to actually notice that they hadn't. I've only gotten that from other people. Dark Souls 3 has a tundra right next to a poison English forest. And in between the two, that links you, is the catacombs of the Desert Kingdom. And this is a Dark Souls 1 area that's been revamped. So it feels extra disjointed to me. So, basically, yeah, Dark Souls 3 gets passes for stuff that Dark Souls 2 gets blamed for shit that Dark Souls 3 also does, in theory. But Dark Souls 3 gets a pass. And it's not that much better of a game to be forgiven for stuff. I didn't mind adaptability. It's, oh well, I have to grind that bit more to put in a few extra points. Oh wow, there's an incredible grinding spot in Dark Souls 2 where you don't have to lift a finger unless people didn't die quite cooperatively. Then you let the bombardments finish the job and then you leave. As far as I remember, there's nothing nearly as nice in Dark Souls 3. If you don't get what I mean, go into the giant stream with the giant lord. Do not fight the lord. Some people do fight the lord, it's a grinding spot, and just keep bonfire boosting so that you can keep going back in to fight him. Do not. Go to a new game plus 1 difficulty. Go in, fight the I was gonna say fight the boss. No, do not fight the boss. Go in. In the opening area, there's a ton of footmen and 2 ogres, 2 giants. The footmen are going to die very easily, but the giants could be killed by the giant rolling statue head or bombardments. With minor bit of stat boosting gear, soul gain boosting gear, you can get like 20,000 an attempt. You go in, you stand there, you leave. Once you make sure they're all dead, you could fight them if you want, but you could just run around and let the bombardments do the job for you. You leave, you come back, you do this a handful of times and you have 100,000 souls. It's beautiful. It's the best grinding spot in any of the games I've seen. Any of the Dark Souls games. So, again, it didn't bother me, it was fine. So, anyway, this is just me being bitching about Dark Souls and talking about Dark Souls 2 and 3 for the last while. I love Dark Souls 1. Dark Souls 1 is probably the best of the 3. I do appreciate Dark Souls 3's speed. That's nice. Though, you could really see the Bloodborne influences and changes to it. And in some ways, I kind of miss how they went more in on there was horror in all 3 of them. But it feels like it went a different strain for Dark Souls 3. They went different with it. You could see the Bloodborne influence quite heavily to it, and I kind of wish we got a Dark Souls 3 without it. Just the pure experience of Dark Souls without, the Bloodborne to it. Even if it did have the faster pace. Like, there was horror in Dark Souls 1, like the maidens being fused into these weird abominations by seats and whatnot. There was that horror there, certainly. And then there was Aldea's Manor, Aldea's basically Albert Wesker of the... it's Aldea and Seed are basically cousins. But I remember since Aldea had the manor and he had all those fucked up experiments going on, I ended up thinking of fucking Resident Evil, and so I brought up Wesker with it. But maybe he's. I don't know Resident Evil enough. I don't know other names to drop. Whatever. But yeah, there was horror in 1 and 2, but I know there's a different flavor to 3, There's a different flavor to it. So I know it just felt different. And I could feel the like Bloodborne influences to it. And so in some ways I'll prefer a Dark Souls 3 without Bloodborne. Just a kind of a pure Dark Souls experience. It would be interesting to see what it would be like, But yeah, I like 1. It's the original. There's a pure thing to it. I like 2 for its own reasons. It's kind of a midpoint between 1 and 3. There's some greater flexibility than you have in 2, but you aren't as flexible as you are in 3. Like in 1, if you want to heal at all, you have to stand dead still. In 2, you can move, only if you're using a gem. And the gems heal slower than a Estus flask. But you can't move that much. In 3, you can move with a flask, and a bit faster than you could with the gem in 2. This may seem like a minor thing, but it saved my ass on numerous occasions. I would have gotten twacked with an enemy weapon if I couldn't have moved even that bit. They were homed in on my spot, but by sauntering slowly in the other way, I survived. It saves your ass. So, I'm rambling here because I'm tired. I apologize. Right. Shit. Okay, you know what? I'll see if I can't pick up my rest of my stuff up. Because I left here, I ruined the... because I left here, I ruined the prices. The economy has clicked into gear again, so I need to leave. But yeah, let me just try and finish this point. Part of my issue is I'm absent-minded. I'm also trying to do something else. And I'm forgetful, tired, feeling sick, a little barfy. Like, I want to... Like, I can feel a sensation in my throat. Many things leading to difficulties in focusing on what I'm saying. Again, when I'm trying to make a big grand point, I like to write it down and hum and haw over it for a year. I exaggerate. So, what's the idea I want? Yeah, I like Dark Souls 1. It's the original. It's got a very good feel to it. I like it. Dark Souls 2 does feel very much like a continuation of Dark Souls 1 with some added flexibility. Is it as perfect as is it as fine-tuned as an experience as Dark Souls 1? No. It just doesn't feel as the same. It doesn't feel quite right. But Dark Souls 3 has that same complaint. It's also a faster-paced thing with clear Bloodborne influences rather than being a pure Dark Souls affair. And yeah, I'm sure there's King's Quest references and whatnot, but they kind of came in with the bedrock of Dark Souls 1, and I don't know King's Quest. So, but Bloodborne, the Bloodborne stuff really stands out to me. So, that's a different affair. River? No, it's the fucking ocean. But, Basically, I like all three of them. All three are good. I think I prefer the first game, but I do like the added flexibilities and whatnot in the later games. They've saved my ass too much for me to dislike them. Okay, I can create a settlement here on the water. Somehow that works. This ocean is arid. Sure, we'll go with that. I don't think that can be a thing. Gotta be honest, I kind of hate my commentary here. I just kind of got caught up in this loop. Oh yes, that's something I was going to say. I get caught in a loop sometimes and I just keep cycling. Again and again and again and again and again. It's really annoying. Sorry. I do apologize. Basically, I like Dark Souls 1. It's the original. It's... You know, it's the bedrock of it. Dark Souls 2 tries to do its own different thing, and apparently did go through some development changes. There was this whole, like, time travel mechanic that we didn't get to see, which would have been cool. I would have really liked to see that. What we got, though, was enjoyable enough, though. It was a fun continuation to Dark Souls 1. I remember people bitching about the knights in the Iron Keep with homing shots, and just like, take out a bow, shoot them first, you know, or dodge roll, you know. Work on your timing, get good. I didn't see the complaints. Sorry, my mind keeps blanking. And then I loop, and I just can't be happy with what I say. I shouldn't have brought this up. This was a wrong move. But yeah, I like Dark Souls 1. Dark Souls 1 is a solid game. Dark Souls 2 is a fine game too. Dark Souls 3 is also a fine game. It deviates heavily from what 1 and 2 had going for them. Dark Souls 2 started deviating, but Dark Souls 3 went whole hog on it. It was a lot faster of a game. It bore the Bloodborne influences quite clearly. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's a fun experience, but part of me would like to see what a Dark Souls 3 would have been like without Bloodborne to it. What story would they have wrote? Because it probably influenced the story too. But the mechanics, how would the mechanics have been? And the bosses changed in accordance with the mechanics. Because while Millennia may have basically been a Sekiro boss fight in Elden Ring, not every boss can, be that. Be that. So they would, they could have had one like that, but that would have been that, this would have been this, So, I like all three games. I just feel Dark Souls 2 gets too harsh of a rap, and at least going by some of the critiques, it gets a rap for things that people completely ignore when it comes to Dark Souls 3, and that just seems unfair. Like, the disjointed level design people were saying in Dark Souls 2. I never found it disjointed at all. It felt fine. Maybe there's some issues with the DLC area, certainly. You can have that. It's hard to really map things out like you could say with Dark Souls 1. But Dark Souls 3, going from Poison Swamp English Forest to the Catacombs of the Desert Kingdom, like straight into it. And then from that Catacombs of the Desert Kingdom, straight into Tundra. It's a bit jarring, I suppose, and especially given that it's a Dark Souls 1 area, rather than an entire new area like Dark Souls 3 was. Dark Souls 2 was an entirely new area during Lake. Dark Souls 3 was a revamp of Dark Souls 1 areas, with plenty of new places. With a number of new places. So, it just felt more jarring to me. So, But again, despite my critiques and whatnot, I do like all three games. All three games are very solid. So, I should not have brought this up. I ended up just stuck in this entire loop, and it's just like, I have to say this right. I have to express this, and I just keep looping. It was a terrible idea. if you have an opinion of this yourself, let me know in the comment section below. I'm sure if you hate everything I've said, you're probably have already left your opinion long before I asked, and even if I told you not to, you would have left your opinion. Not that I would have said not to leave your opinion. But, you know, hypothetically. Like, I want inputs. I want to hear from you. So I will never say, oi, fuck off. And, you know, shut up. You know, whoa, person. We really need to, oil a door. It startles the hell out of me. Oh, fuck, it's 5 a.m. I thought it was still 3. Oh, god damn it. I just got my sleep schedule in order. Why am I finding so many storm domains? Just... like, all these had unique icons, but here they have kind of this stone backing to them and a new sigil on it. Anyway, I'll leave this here. I should have gone hours ago, but I got caught up talking, and then I got caught up playing. Fuck me. I'll try and not screw up my sleep schedule too much. I'll go to sleep for only a couple of hours. I'll try that. See if I can wake up. Till then, I'm about to go suffer. It's 5 a.m. I meant to go to bed so much earlier. I blame that Dark Souls talk. It's entirely on that. It's entirely on that. Till then, folks. I hope you've enjoyed, even though I got my character killed stupidly. Ugh.